Hey, welcome back to Hypermine, and yes, today we have a tour of my latest build, and that is because I tried to record it, but it proved beyond my capabilities. In what I built, they're incredibly frustrating to troubleshoot, and just the video I had was like an hour and a half long and full of me going, why is that? What? Well, maybe, and that's not entertaining for anybody, I don't think. So, we're going to pop over to the mining world. Now, firstly, I'll say, the reason I built this is, I'm considering going nuclear. Nuclear. I'm going to build a nuke, just like I did on the old map. However, on the old map, I had a problem. I kept running out of uranium, and that's a bit of an issue. I'm going to... Basically, I want to try and avoid that from happening. Yeah, speak English. And the way I'm going to do that is I want to have a constant quarry going. And that's what I've built. Oh, thanks to a sub whose name I can't pronounce, DR0CT4G0N4BUS. Catchy. I've replaced this cover here with a facade. I didn't realise that the AE cables worked with facades, so that's awesome. Basically, it's a lot smoother. Thank you for that, buddy. So yes, let's hop over to the mining world. Okay, so that was weird. I had my client crashed when I went through the portal. Very, very strange. Okay, so this is my latest build. It's amazing, as you can imagine. Took a long time to get this working. No, not really. Yep, this is just a portal spawner with a wireless transmitter, so that it can open the portal at the other end. And where is that portal at the other end? It is the frameship Defiant, my quarry ship. Look at her, isn't she beautiful? A copper glory. Awesome. Right, so let's see if I can explain this in a reasonable time limit. So this thing is made entirely out of frames, and it's covered with covers where I need covers. Everywhere where it's touching a block I don't want it to interact with, like the quarry frame, and panels most everywhere else, just in case I should want to put something down and not have it left behind us when the ship moves on. Talking of moving on, so the operation of this ship is as follows. The moment, what it does is it moves 9 blocks forward, pops a quarry out, gives it enough time to finish quarrying, sucks it back up, and moves 9 blocks forward. Rinse and repeat for ever. And specifically how it does this is, let's see, we'll start with this nightmare here, the master control circuit. What this does, right, so it's centered around a counter, and that counter is set to count 18, the number 18. So it will count 18 in one direction and then 18 in the other direction. And the way it does that is if you put a pulse in the positive side, this side here, it will move towards this torch. And if you put a pulse in the negative side, it will move towards this torch. We are supplying the pulse by timers on either side, and we're using these RS latches to lock one timer, and that will allow the counter, because if they're both going, the counter just ticks back and forth between two increments. So it locks one timer, which allows the other one to count it all the way to one side, and then the RS latch on the other side will flip, lock the previously running timer, come around, unflip this latch, which will unlock this timer and now allow this one to start spinning, and that will count it all the way back to the first side. Basically one of these spins and then the other one spins, and then this one spins and then the other one spins. So if you look at the cross pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, and these two either side of the counter, that is the circuit that counts up and down 18 times. Okay, that's a counter, that and that they're RS latches. Both of these are timers, and these are pulse formers, which are basically monostable circuits. And that's so that although this line is on at the moment, it's actually receiving power from this RS latch, not from this RS latch. And that means when the torch goes on this side, it's able to flip over, because this line is not locking it into this position. Okay, this is powering the line, not the line is powering this, if that makes sense. So yeah, really difficult. Moving along, we take 3 feeds off the master control circuit. This one, which we use a repeater just to get it out without it interfering with this RS latch. Repeater, a null cell, which is just like a kind of a crossroads for red alloy wire, and that goes into a white insulated jacket and into a bundled cable. This constantly on signal goes into red and into the bundled cable, and this at the moment constantly off goes into orange and into the bundled cable. That's the state when the timer is in quarry mode. When this gets all the way there and the whole thing flips over, this will start spinning, so the white will get a pulse every 2 seconds, because that's what this is set to. This line will go off and this line will come on, and then it will flip back after this has gone round 18 times. It will flip back into the state you currently see it in, with no signal, constant signal, no signal. So what do we do with those signals? Well, when we're in movement mode, the white one, which is pulsing every 2 seconds for 18 times, so 36 seconds, goes into this jacketed wire here, and what happens is on one pulse, so at the moment when it receives its first pulse, this engine is going to push the whole ship forward, because the drive face on this engine is pointing down and the arrow is facing forward, so it's going to push the whole ship forward. On the second pulse, because the ship has gone forward, this frame motor here will be underneath this block here. So the second pulse, this one will go. Now this frame motor will actually be on top of this block here, which has a cover, so it can't actually get any traction on the frame. So this one is under here, or rather this has moved back over this, kind of, I don't know, it's difficult to explain. So this will just push these 2 frames forward with the frame motor attached to them and the spot loader. So it'll push those forward. On the third pulse, we're back to this pushing the ship forward Fourth pulse, this pushes this assembly forward 1 block, and so on until it's traversed 9 blocks in 18 pulses. It's very accurate because it actually counts the number of pulses rather than running like for a certain amount of time. This will always provide 18 pulses to the system. Similarly, when we enter movement mode, the red line will switch off and the orange line will switch on. When that happens, the block breaker will break the quarry and pass it back round to the deployer. After 18 pulses of the engine and we move 9 blocks, the circuit switches back into this state. So the white is doing nothing, the orange switches back off to how it is now, and the red switches on, and so the deployer deploys the quarry and the quarry starts working again. And it works pretty well, and it's all my design. We've just got some solar panels up here to power the frame motors. This is the receiver for the portal spawner. The wire just goes all the way over just to make it symmetrical and pretty. And yeah, after I'd built this, I'd had a chat with T.O. Lone Wolf, who told me what I should be using is an autarctic gate and a cobblestone structure pipe. Now I don't know a lot about gates, but the autarctic gate has a what did he call it? It's like a work done or a work finished function, or has work function or something. And the cobblestone structure pipe will not accept items. So the quarry won't try and dump stuff into it, which is great because buildcraft pipes with quarries are a recipe for items on the ground. So instead of counting, using a timer to count how long this thing needs, what we can actually do is have the quarry tell the circuit, I'm finished now, and that can be used. And that's going to be much more accurate because no matter how fast or slow the quarry runs, it will give it just enough time. It will stay still until the quarry finishes, and then it will move the ship forward. Now, considering the troubles I've had building this thing on camera, I am going to put all of this into action. I just wanted really to show you the design while it still was mine. But now I'm going to improve it with Lone Wolf's suggestion, and then I will come back to you. Okay, right, let's have a look at the changes I've made. Next to that's interesting. I've made a mistake. Yeah, just a sec. This block is not actually attached to the frame ship at all. This frame here, so that's no good. Come on. Okay, next to the quarry we have this cobblestone structure pipe. It's got an autarctic gate on it, and it says when work done, output a redstone signal. I've got redstone tube frame here to accept that redstone signal, and some more there, and it passes it into this jacketed cable, which then passes it. Let's put that cover with a hole there, and cover there. Oh, double click. So it passes it into the jacketed cable, and then what that does then, come on, it goes in on the orange line. Okay, now it comes along here, and this orange line will then become powered because of that redstone signal into the orange line, and so it will break the quarry and pass it back to the deployer. If we come back along here, this orange line is now, instead of giving a signal out, it's now used to accept the signal from the autarkic gate and into the greatly simplified master circuit. So what this should do, if I've worked it out right, is it firstly will pulse the counter on the increase side, and I've increased, although it's still counting 18, the increment side, it doesn't matter that it's more. I mean, we could set it to exact. There you go. It will count it 18, all 18 in one go. Okay? But only when it receives a pulse for the positive side. Okay? At the moment it's kind of halfway there, so it will flip. When the quarry finishes, the pulse will make the counter flip all the way to the end. It will also go through, well, it's not a pulse, it's a signal, so it will also go through this pulse generator thingy, and which may not be necessary actually. Seems the pulse should go away when the quarry gets broken. The signal should go away when the quarry gets broken, but nevertheless it goes through this pulse former because it was already there, and around, and flips the RS latch, unlocking this timer. This timer then does the same job, and let's see, we don't want this pulse former here, do we? No, we don't, although it doesn't actually matter. So the timer does the same job. It counts the counter back 18 spots from, so it'll be at this side. No. Yeah, it'll count it from here to here in 18 steps. It will also pulse the frame motor 18 times, moving the frameshift forward 9 spaces. This here, which probably doesn't need to go through a pulse former, same as the other side. I'm pretty certain these will actually just work without them. In fact, I'm confident enough that I'll break it. And actually, I'm going to need either a pulse former or a repeater. Something just to... Oh, my repeater fell to the ground. I lost it when I broke it. Yeah, quarry sucked it up. Right, okay, we'll put the pulse former there again, just simply because there we go. Who does he see? Minimap? No? Right, so we'll do it there just so the timer's not going to be pulsing this circuit. Yeah, right, so that will send the signal through to the block, to the deployer. So that's wrong. In fact, when that's moving, we don't want it to try and deploy. Made a mistake. How can I fix it? We want this to deploy when this finishes counting. So when this finishes counting, this side is gonna... Yeah, no, that's right. That is right. So at the moment this is on, when this starts counting, this is going to turn this line off. It will count, 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 and then it will turn this line back on, because this will reach here, flip the latch and turn it back on to lock this counter. At that point, this will go through the pulse former and hit the deployer. And it's almost finished, so it should actually start moving. Come on, move. Please move. Now this can get really laggy. Yeah, it's moving. The ship can get really laggy on movement. It's a server thing. But as you can see, it is in fact moving. Fly! It's the most unmajestic sight you ever did see. But a lot simpler. And also more broken. Oh! Yeah, these frames here are not fully attached to the system because to the ship because it was hiding these, so I'll have to fix that. That's okay, that's easy enough. I'll just have to, when it's finished moving, let's break these for the moment. Derp. Okay, you finished moving? Nearly? Yeah, it should actually deploy the quarry now. Yes! Excellent. And you can see this frame here is overlap 1 on this, and these directly below here doesn't get quarried anyway. So that's what we want. That worked perfectly, apart from the fact that half the ship got left behind. Though, yeah, that needs to go like that, I think. Yeah. And like that, and then I need to connect this on somehow. I figure probably the best way of doing that is with a little thingy here. Come on. And just put a frame there, and that will basically sort that problem. It'll reconnect that bit of the ship to. Oh no. That's pain. What's below there? Red jacketed wire. Okay, we'll put that back there, and we'll put that like that, and then can I please have a panel? We'll put that there, join that back together, and pop 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 pop, put all this back as it was. Why is this cover here? Oh no, it is panel, it's just it's not on a frame, it's over an empty space. But so that's okay. And then covers on the outside, and we'll be all good. Working like a charm. There. They've got 2 on, and then panels can be there, and red jacketed cable there, sorted. Got a lot more space down here as well. Now, never mind. Can I get rid of these without breaking something? Good. Excellent. Right, sorted. And we'll do the same on the other side, just to even it out. like so. And so. And a cover. Beautiful. Right, okay. That'll be fine now. So, constant quarrying and, yeah, stuff and things. Excellent. What a pain in the rear it's been to build this thing. Hopefully, it delivers all my desires in terms of uranium. That's what we want, is uranium. Okay, so let's pick that up. Want that. I've got an idea for an improvement on this engine actually, so that it doesn't rely on pulses but on a set signal, and that it actually counts based upon the movement of the frame motors. But to be honest, I've had enough of this now, so let's go to the base. Turn that off. I might actually put this onto a timer, or actually I need a state cell so that it stays on for a certain amount of time, because I'm almost always going to book out. So there's no point forcing me to come back through that just to turn it off. Yes, so what have we got? A few minutes left on the episode. It actually took up the entire episode just to explain and make that modification. Wonderful. Not much happening down here. I put these blue electric alloy furnaces in this blue electric furnace, normal furnace. They're manually fed at the moment, but I've got import buses on them. Now, one thing to note, if you want to use an import bus with one of these, it needs to be on the side that the items go to. So you can't just put, oh dear, I'm going to put something over those so I don't fall down them. I don't know if I've shown them. This is my hookup to Lecky Gen's power supply. Anyway, yeah, so the items go from there to there, so you need to put them in there. I've not tried export buses or interfaces to get items into them yet. I'm guessing it will have to be either on that side or on the top. But here's Armitage. I wonder if we can get him in a call. Although, yeah, I'm watching you. Yeah, anyway, actually the episode's getting quite long now, so we're going to call it a night, and I'm going to find out what this guy wants. Oh, he's gone. Oh yes, I've took a big room for a future project. Down here, all the way down here. Still digging it out, but we'll come to that another day. Anyway, sorry for the weird Tory type episode, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it anyway. Hope you're well. Hope you stay well. Hope you take care of yourselves, guys. Bye bye.